shut these doors. So we're gonna be telling all kinds of crazy secrets. Well, how blessed am I to be in this situation? I should have had a speech or something. I saw you guys coming in, I was like, I really should have more of an agenda here as this thing goes forward. This was all my idea, wasn't it? I don't really have anything to specifically to say, but I want to make it a choose-your-own-adventure type situation. Obviously, we're here to listen to this record that has been 4 years in the making, probably 5 if you look at the span of it. So I was going to play you guys some songs, maybe talk a little bit about how the songs were created, specific ones, and give you guys an opportunity to, if you have any questions, we can do a Q&A. But the main reason is that we're here to give you guys an opportunity to, and really for myself to kind of memorialize the, 4 years, 5 years, a long time to spend, putting songs together, putting music together, and I'm just so fortunate to have you guys that are this built-in audience. A lot of people don't have that. So, but yeah, it's going to be cool for me to reflect and listen to the album as one piece and pretend that we all still do that these days as we move into the Spotify generation, which is cool. I watch my daughters, consume music that way, and it's. I'm not ready to say that the albums are going to go away, but maybe it doesn't have the. Maybe it's just the attention span of the generation. So I know there's several generations here in the audience tonight, so we'll embrace that part of us that still has enough attention span to make it from one song to song 11. And but I think it's important. I think this record's important too because it's kind of I guess it is a concept record to a certain extent. And I think when you're listening to it, you should think of it this way because living in Nashville for now 13 years, a lot of these songs were a collection of songs that were appointment. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of them. A few of them were a result of what I would call like appointment songwriting, which is a method, and a lot of great material come from this. You guys have heard me say that many times. And then many of them were just late night bus rides over the course of a couple Matchbox tours and little voice notes that appear right here, that you just have a little melodic idea and or even a lyric or even a chord progression. We would have we'd have a laugh just having drinks going through what's right in here. It's like me like, all right, so you go to A minor, there's I got the drum part, then I stop, then I add the bass line. I'm like, adding all these things and trying to make sense of it afterwards. And I sit back and I go, this is amazing that I get to do this and make a living. I just sat there and shouted in a device for like a minute and a half of just a bunch of, crazy musical ideas that just appear to me, all the time. Really, if it's ever quiet or silent, Mom can probably attest to that. That something's bound to pop in there. That doesn't always mean it's good, and but as an artist, it means that sometimes you need to take the time to sort of embrace it and see if there is something of value there. But with this record in particular, I think part of what took a while were just the very obvious things. I was going through a very dark period in my personal life, and that was restraining the ability to really just work on it. But oddly enough, it was kind of informing it at the same time, So then it became a larger scale project at that point. It wasn't just an album of like, hey, because people do this in Nashville all the time, let's just get the best songs together and put them on a record, and the best song, I guess for lack of a layman's description, is just the catchiest chorus, right, or the most memorable song. And but coming from a world of classical music and jazz, which I love, and I also love pop music and love pop music structures, but the music is also about composing it as well. And it's not, songs are more than just a verse and a chorus and a bridge. Sometimes there's one moment in this record where it just repeats one line for like 4 minutes, and the band just builds and builds and builds into this thing, which was partially inspired by Beatles' Abbey Road, which really kind of got me going. And my stepfather Joe is here. He had the record. He got me into it. So. God, I'm getting emotional. Yeah, so what do you guys want to do? Would you like to hear some music first, or would you like to, the choose your own adventure thing is kind of, you want to listen to the album and get an idea, so then I can just shut up and you can get to all the work, and then we can hear some music after, or we can talk about it, or I'm happy to play before and then we can listen. You guys, really, because I didn't set forth that agenda, do you guys care one way or the other? It made sense to me to maybe play the record for you, and then you could get an idea to sort of digest it, and then I could talk a little bit about where things came from. But so I can finish my point, and before I start crying like a little baby, because I love the Beatles. And you should go see Love too, by the way. It made me think of that. I was crying at that thing. Las Vegas, go check it out. So that idea, and that's why I love them too, is the composition of things too. And I've always tried to wind those threads through, the effort that I put into the Matchbox 20 records. Like the tapestry of sound and stuff is important, and can be as important as, oh, that's just a catchy hook, and we just want to hear that a couple more times. So the songs I've tried to make sure that it was the songs on this record weren't necessarily